Forgot to put on my sound, so they didn't hear any of that.
Oh no. Did somebody comment that we were muted?
No sound.
No sound.
That is embarrassing. I apologize. I just went through my entire intro.
Yeah, you get to do it again.
I get to do it
that
again.
That was dress rehearsal.
Yeah, apparently. Except for now I have to remember all the same things. I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry about that. But anyway, we are doing fall themed, and I'm super excited about it. And we're doing a really beautiful color scheme today that I put together. I feel like I really nailed this color scheme down, and it's going to be really easy for you guys to achieve. It's using the One Step Antiques, and then one of them is going to be more of a gradient effect. Another one's just going to be another effect as well. We'll go over a little bit about the construction. We're going to do pearl wrap loops. We'll go over that really quickly. Super easy. Trying to think if there's anything else that I missed. I think that's mostly it, and I definitely did the introduction better the first time, so. Round 2, no, I was locked in the first time. Let's see. No, I feel like that's mostly it, but everything's, for the most part, is pretty easy, I would say, but I'm excited to show you guys this color scheme. And then, let's see. We can pop up our paint effects kit, because I'm telling you, well, number one, you guys just want to like see this in the first place. I'm easing myself out of it. So this is Cart 100. These are all the colors. This is a really great visualization for you all. We have crimson red, we have metallic gold, bright orange, ochre, royal purple, oops, iridescent peach, and metallic fuchsia. Is this really a one-word name?
It's, no, it should be, ochre yellow.
Ochre yellow. Okay,
yeah.
This is labeled wrong. I was like, that does not seem right.
It's a misprint, probably.
But yeah, this is the amazing effects kit. So yeah, definitely make sure you pull these. I honestly pull these colors out today and just do it with us if you have them already.
Yeah, it's
really magical. Like, I want you guys to experience this with me. And then if not, get this. Like, you need this. I feel like this is probably one of my favorite color combinations ever. It's just so beautiful.
So we wanted to do something a little different than what you see for fall, but really invoke the turning or changing of the leaves.
Yes. Okay, there's that. And then we also have our turning leaves color class sampler. So this is full of all of those leaves, which is perfect for the fall theme as well. All of your main components are in here. Yeah, so I feel like the only thing that you would need to add, they just need to add a couple of rivets, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and, you know, findings.
Yeah, and yeah, obviously findings and beads.
And that's kind of optional with that construction.
Yeah, you can do it.
as well.
You could do it a different way than I did. It's just what I chose to do. So we will go through that a little bit later. This is Cart 101. So we have Cart 100 for the paint and Cart 101 for the sampler. Okay. Can you zoom me in better? I just did a quick zoom.
Yeah.
Any questions for anybody? Also, I have caffeine today, so I'm great today.
You're already ready for class. The little leaves on the necklace are part of our
Wait a second.
What?
Everybody, I forgot because we did master class, but
yeah.
My hair is different for everybody else.
Did anybody ask about it yet
Not
today?
yet.
I think we have mostly people who have seen you.
Yes, mostly master class members, so most everybody else has seen it. But yeah, my hair is different. It's actually not supposed to be this color, so I crashed out a little bit this week because of not just this, it was just kind of like a it was like so many different things piling up and so busy all at once that I kind of went a little crazy. And then, yeah, I'm fine now. And it looks better than it did, but we're going to fix it even more on Wednesday.
Yeah, just expect it to change all the time now.
Yeah.
It's going to be
doing it while I can.
All different
I'm doing it while I can, and then I'll go back to natural hair color when I no longer even have 0.3 seconds to do it. Which will definitely be here in like probably like half a year to a year. I probably won't be able to do it anymore. I'll be too busy. And yes, it has toned down. And yeah, the colors again, Connie, are crimson red, metallic gold, bright orange, ochre yellow, royal purple, iridescent peach, and metallic fuchsia. Do you want to put those in the comments so that if anybody's going to try and paint along with us, they have the ability to?
What we're going to do is I'm going to actually put these in, but yes, I will do that, but I will also put the colors in the listing.
Yeah.
As well.
So we'll get that list in there in the comments for you guys as well, just so that you have a good reference and you don't have to be like, which one did she say again?
So Peggy had a question about the pink leaves, and these are part of our new Amazon storefront. You can find them there under our beads, and I'm just going to put that link in here for you guys. So if you look under beading supplies, you're going to see these acrylic leaves, and you can show them what they look like. You just want to pick one of those up, the pink one.
Pink and blue, or
just
purple?
The pink.
Just
so the pink one's fine. There's a multicolor set. There's pink ones. There's purple ones. But that's basically what those are. So if you want the exact ones that are used on this curb chain choker, that's where you will find that. And so, yes, I will be typing here in the comments the names of the colors. So you can follow along if you want to be painting right now. Do you want to go through, switch to your, just like zoom out on that and show them like all of the different pieces really quick? Do a pan over.
Let's do our little pan over. So we have, you can see the paints there.
Are you full screen on those?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have our bird here, this bird bracelet. We did accidentally use one that we didn't have, so we will show you the demonstration on this piece instead. This is the piece that you will get. Unfortunately, yeah, we didn't have these. But it will still be the same kind of look because of the shape.
Yeah, and that's the one that's pictured in the bundle too, so.
Yep. And then we have our necklaces here. This is what I was talking about with the rivet. You could just hole punch both of them and put a couple of jump rings and to put it together. I did this because I think this looks cleaner and it was really easy to achieve on this piece specifically. I will explain why really quickly. Because number one, you have a nice little guide. You just hole punch in those two circles right there, and then you just attach it to the back with the other leaf. Just do a couple hole punches to line it up. I thought it was really easy, but you can definitely jump ring it together if you feel like that is more your speed. And then obviously all these painted leaves here, absolutely gorgeous. I did these earrings here just for a little quick like, this is like less about like design, even though they're a beautiful design, and more about layering. And so I wanted to include these because I thought they would layer really beautifully with the other earrings if you put them in the second hole. But simple is also really amazing as another layer, but they can be great by themselves as well. And then we have our bracelet here, which we have the beautiful effect on. Camera doesn't even do it justice, but it still is really beautiful. Really simple wrap loop beads here. I'll talk about that. Yeah, that's like the most difficult part. You definitely, what are these called again?
Double cylinder pliers or cylinder pliers?
What size though? Like what? You'll want these double cylinder pliers that we have gone over previously to shape this. If not, it's going to be a little more difficult. It's just better to use these for the best like shaping and smoothness against your wrist. You probably still could achieve it using your round nose, but it still will be more difficult.
Yeah, so Peggy was asking about the chain. I will put those in the comments. The ones that are not included in the bundle.
Ones. Here you go.
Yeah, these two.
Then we have our other earrings. And then these are really phenomenal. Obviously, everything I make is really phenomenal, clearly. But yeah, so we just took these pieces and then we flipped one of them and painted over them. I'm going to show you guys this gradient effect. It is the same gradient as the leaf. One's going this way and the other's going the reverse order. And we just continue it through the piece. So, yeah, these are really beautiful pieces. And they were really fun to achieve. We can just go back to our view here. Right.
Oh, it looks like Doug put the cylinder pliers link in here, so I will repost that so that you can follow the link if you want to.
Perfect.
So if you are shopping just at vintage.com, you will go to the new category. So just go to the top toolbar and hit new, and these will be the first two products to show up. Will be the new patina effect set and the bundle.
Yep. Also, guys, just a friendly reminder, if you were not here for Friday, we are doing another little addition for you guys to help be here and be reminded to be here. So if you guys want to opt into that text system, you can get text notifications for when we are going live, so you never miss out on that. So, do you want to...
I'll have Doug, would you paste in the number here? And
he's gonna comment in the information for you to do that. So if you want to opt in for those notifications, that's really fantastic. Makes your life easier.
Yeah. You can follow the link right in. Now I'm not sure, so I think our YouTube, normally it'll take you right to YouTube as well if you prefer to watch that way. I think it's not quite broadcasting right on there today, so we apologize.
It shows that to me as well. It's not quite broadcasting properly.
For anybody that's coming over or watching later, sorry about that.
I don't know why that happens.
Yeah, it just happens sometimes with our streaming software. Like every, 4 or 5 times maybe, for whatever reason.
But we will upload this video later.
Yes.
To YouTube.
Yep.
So if you guys do prefer to watch there after the fact, we will have it back up there for you guys to see probably in like a few days. We're not usually pretty prompt about that. It takes a while to download one of these videos.
Yeah. So Candy has a good question. Can rewards points be used towards the bundle? Yes. So this is kind of one of the fun bonus things for Mondays. Is that you can earn rewards and use rewards on these bundles. So we usually do like a 20% discount at least on the bundle, but then you're also getting points on them. You can also use points towards them. If you have any trouble applying them, just let us know and we'll make sure that we get it sorted out for you. So that's kind of one of the benefits where you're like, oh, it's a little bit more than what we're doing on Warehouse or what we're doing on our other shops. But when you add in, getting and using rewards, then it's kind of more apples to apples. So.
Yep, and I just popped up that comment, so hopefully you guys see that, but it's also there in the comments as well for you guys to read. But yes, so yeah, definitely you can use your rewards and definitely take advantage of that. That's why we do our Monday lives, is so that you guys can take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And you get to be familiar with all the wonderful products that we have on the website that we aren't offering on other places, right?
Yes, for sure.
I think, do we have anything else that we need to go over?
I don't think so. Yeah, so I briefly touched on and I put in a link here for the beads and supplies. So a lot of times on the warehouse sales or on here, we're using supplies that we get that we don't carry, right? Tools that we don't carry that we're never going to carry on our website. And so we wanted a landing place for that. I'm shortly going to be publishing a blog post where that can permanently reside. So if you're like, oh, I can't remember what the affiliate link is, I've got kind of a draft of that post. So be looking for that as well.
Absolutely. And I feel like now we can probably get into these paint projects.
Yeah.
We are trying to do these lives a little bit faster to make sure that everybody is able to get all of the techniques in as quickly as possible. We know that your guys' time is very valuable, so we're trying to keep it a little more concise on Mondays specifically.
Yes. Yeah.
Not our other days, just Mondays. But we just want to speed run these techniques and make sure everybody gets the information that they need. Okay. I'm going to move all of this stuff. And I think I'm going to go over, before I start hopping directly into painting, I'm just going to quickly go over this pair of earrings here, because we're going to go over our little wrapped loop. So we have these beautiful little earrings. Construction is so easy. I literally just slid this chain directly onto this ear wire and pinched it closed. Do we have these ear wires on our website?
I believe so, yeah.
So we might get you guys a link if you want these ear wires specifically. I use them a lot. It's what we have here, but also I just think that they look really nice and beautiful.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go over really quickly how to do this wrapped loop, and it's important to take note that I did thread it through our chain here. So can you give me a little clipping of that so
Would
I
you
can
like,
show that?
You want this kind or
That kind, yes.
This kind, okay.
And I don't need very much, just enough to show, just like the tiniest little bit. Okay, so we have a small clipping here. I'm just going to show you guys with this. Let me make sure I'm on screen. Okay. I will zoom it in because this looks really far away.
Corian, we feel you.
What did she say?
She said if I don't go over 3 hours on Fridays, it's a good day. Yes, so kind of one of the things that we've been having fun with is figuring out on Mondays what our format's going to be like, how we use our time. And so since we use this content and we make reels out of it, we will always kind of keep that in mind, is budgeting enough time to also do that kind of activity. So then you get to see like little snippets of what we've done on a Monday, and you get kind of like a snack size time, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of like a full 3-course meal, I think is Fridays, right?
Yes.
Monday snack. I would say like dinner on Wednesdays and then 3-course meal on Fridays.
Yes. So we are going to go over this really easy technique here. This is a simple wrapped loop using a pearl head pin. So first I'm just going to start off and thread through my little bead here. I'm going to put my pearl onto my head pin. Easy peasy. And then immediately we do want to have some room, so I'm just going to pinch with my round nose pliers, just like that at the bottom, and bend over to the side. So now we have that 90-degree angle. Then I pinch and have one on the top, and this is where I'm going to start and make my loop. Okay, have my loop, I'm going to pull away. We need to open this up because at this point with this piece here, we aren't using a jump ring, we're just threading it through immediately. So this chain is now on there. We're gonna pinch this back closed. Use our hands, we can use our chain nose. And I just use a chain nose and the round nose for this. Now at this point, I like to take my round nose and I pinch to hold. Okay. And then we can just use our hands to start wrapping around. And we're gonna go up and down on this. Now once I start to have a little less of this, it becomes really hard for me to use my hands, and that's when I like to pull out my chain nose to finish out my wrapping. Once I get really close to that edge, I like to pinch down. Zoom in so you guys can kind of see that there. I'm really nitpicky about this part. You don't have to be as nitpicky as me, but this is who I am. You guys know that. The other thing you could do is you could just like clip off this little piece here.
I know we have our ladies that like to use every bit of wire, so this is a good demo for that.
And then we have a wrapped loop. You don't have to use all the wire. If you wanted it to be smaller, then you would just use less, or you would make the little notch between here smaller. I used less on these ones, but that doesn't matter as long as we're keeping it consistent between the two we make. That is how we achieve this little wrapped loop with the pearl head pin. That is that messy style wrap loop. Okay, earrings are done.
So I would say for the rest should probably go after the painting, right?
What's the rest?
Anything else we do? Any other demos?
I don't think that's necessary because this will go really, this is all at one time.
Did you paint that leaf though?
Yeah, but it's the same thing as these.
Okay.
It's just I don't use all the
Gotcha.
colors. I'm just going to quickly go through the construction of this piece here. I want to show you what I did because there are a little couple things that I do to achieve this. So to start, I did paint this leaf here. And I will tell you what those colors are in a little bit. So we do start with our paint. We paint it. Now we have our painted piece. We will apply that. And then we take our bee here and we hole punch Mr. B in these two little circles on the bottom towards the edge of the wings. Once we have those pinched, we line it up with our leaf. Notice how the point of his tail is lined up with this line here. I did take extra precaution to make sure that did stay lined up like that. And we're simply going to thread our rivets through once we have the hole punched leaf in and our hole punched bee here, and then hammer it down. After we have done that and we have this hammered down and these leaves riveted into this bee, we are going to also hole punch up here. So we have hole punch there, hole punch there. Add some jump rings, thread our chain through, and then we're going to take our chain, we're going to put it over, we're going to pull it down to here, and then we're going to fold over the stem of this leaf. This just hides the chain. That's like the main goofy thing that I'm talking about, where you're like, you would not be able to like tell that.
Yeah, it's
unless
kind of
you
clever,
look at the back,
right?
Yeah.
Kind of clever way, but if you want a simplified version, feel free to jump ring the leaf to the bee. Also, just jump ring your chain on.
Yeah, and I just chose to do it this way because this chain is super fine, and I didn't want to use the beadle.
Yeah,
I didn't want to use the beadle, and that is honestly why I did this. And so, this is my hack for not having to do that because it's kind of a pain in the butt for a chain as fine as this one. Don't mind it if it's like a slightly larger chain, but.
So Diane, hopefully I am pronouncing your name correctly, is asking if you can use the paints on freshwater pearls. Yes, you can. So they're a natural material, so if you want to add a little bit of iridescent shimmer, or if you want to make a regular pearl copper, you can do that for sure.
But that is how that piece was constructed. I'm trying to think if anything else needs some special construction showed. Oh yeah, just this. Do you want to go over this piece really quickly, and then I can hop into the paint?
Do that at the end when you need a break.
I'd prefer you do it right now.
That's okay.
Okay, then you're not going to do it at the end.
All right, that's fine. We don't really need to. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, then I'm just going to go into painting then.
I also have this one if you don't want to unload all of that.
No, it's fine. I already started it.
2 clean ones for you today. We did, as a little easy hack, we split our mat in 2 pieces. So now I did flatten these out before I painted them, or both of them.
Do you want to flatten them out right now then?
Yeah.
Because we don't really need to show them.
Why don't you start with the hibiscus leaf?
I was just about to pull that out.
Perfect.
And this one, yeah. Okay, we're gonna get our paints ready. Make sure that you shake them up. That is the name of the game. If you're unfamiliar with our paints, they start to settle just like any other paint. We need to mix them up. They have little balls. You can do it by hand, or if you have your paint sitting around a lot, then we recommend getting, what is this called? I'm gonna call it a vulcanizer again, and I know it's not that.
Vortex mixer.
Vortex mixer.
You can also find that under tools on our affiliate link page.
I don't actually need to use this vortex mixer right now because I did just recently use these, so they're gonna shake up just fine.
Yeah, I just did them this morning too. So
well, that's why it's extra easy.
Yes.
So for this one, I don't know that you did it very well.
You don't have to have it, but yeah, you don't have to have it, but
makes your life a little easier.
It's a little easier if you're using the paints all the time.
Do you have the other 2?
Oh, you want all 4 of them done?
Yeah.
You're going to do them all at the same time? Yeah. So off screen, I'm just really lightly getting these flattened out. It's going to make it easier for the paint to not roll off. When you're adding your color, here we go. Just lightly tapping so that they retain all of their original detail. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad that we are here for you, Debbie. She said that these painting classes are so great. I struggle with color blending. Well, you're going to get some gorgeous examples of this today because Ainsley's doing these gorgeous ombre effects. So I'm excited to actually watch you do this because I kind of just half watched and was doing other work the other day. So, oh, we use it all the time. I'm saying you don't have to have it. We do, because we paint all the time. I just don't want anybody who doesn't have the paints and isn't experienced to think that they have to have that to be able to use our paints, right?
Nope, you don't have to have it. It's optional.
Because it is a little pricey. There are some cheaper ones on the market, but we really like the one that HQ recommended.
So I'm just going to simply line up all of my paints right directly in order. So I'm going to start from darkest to lightest. We're starting in with our royal purple. I'm going to do this so you guys can kind of see.
Now, will you need more because you're doing several pieces?
It'll be fine. I'm only doing that for these ones.
Ah, I see.
But I do just want to get these out and ready. I'm going to directly pour for the leaf because it is a very large piece, and that's fine to do with that one.
Good question, Peggy. So she said she wants to add some green to this batch of paints. What one would we recommend? So if like she wanted to tip it with green so that it's like changing.
I would honestly do neon green and then moss green.
So neon or moss, maybe?
And just use the tiniest bit of the
Eatsy
neon.
weetsy.
Yes, littlest bit. That is the metallic fuchsia. This is the bright orange. Might have to.
So Debbie, so we don't confuse anyone, what I might do is just comment to you, back to you, those names so that.
Ochre yellow here. Some of these double-threaded caps. Gonna make me mad. Okay, metallic gold.
One tip, if you're using the vortex mixer though, make sure your cap's all the way screwed on.
Yes. Definitely do that. And then we also have our, come on.
I will have to say you've gotten really skilled at picking stuff up with your long fingernails since you started, right?
I don't think it's that hard.
Remember, go like this. That's another
This
tip.
one's not long enough. That's why I wasn't doing that, because it also didn't have the end.
So if you don't at first succeed with clearing your tip, little trick I do is put a long head pin in and just swirl it around like Ainsley just did there. Here, let me get that going for you, so we don't take everybody's time.
And that's the iridescent peach.
That's kind of last anyway, right?
Yes, it is.
Doug says, "Ha! Learned by sad experience with the vortex mixer." Did we learn by sad experience, or
I think all of us did.
or did you personally learn with sad experience?
So I'm gonna go in with this same order, and we're just gonna apply it directly to the leaf, and then we're gonna do it on our other pieces. And we're gonna start with this royal purple on the top.
There you go. Go ahead and get that going. There you go.
And then we're gonna go in with our crimson red.
If anyone knows where the link to that sheet is, if you can comment back to Debbie, the link to it. Okay, he said yes, he did. Learned by personal experience. So Debbie, you're talking about the brass color paint. I'm not sure that one will, because it has given us some that has been one of the ones that has been a little bit more problematic. So while we're troubleshooting that, that will not be in stock.
So yellow.
I would suggest a mixture of Victorian gold or metallic gold and metallic silver to kind of get that brassy color. Or just add a little bit of green into it that will give you that brassy color. That would probably be a good thing for us to do, right? Is show a mix for a brass color.
I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna pull these colors to the edges. We are gonna absorb this in a second here, and then we're gonna go back in with a little bit later of, but I do like to start out with a big old pool here. And then I like to just kind of like pull the colors down into each other. And then I will go back in and add as desired. Popping those bubbles. And this is just a silicone brush that I'm using because I don't want to absorb any of my paint, and if you use one of your bristle brushes, it's just going to absorb some of your paint. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add some bright orange in here. This color is a lot harder to get showed up, so don't be afraid to use it more generously than you would your crimson red. That color will overpower and dominate everything. It's a very strong color.
Yes, the red and the black are very dominant.
So at this point, I'm just doing my own personal little fine tuning to this piece.
Thank you, Lorraine. I just am so in awe of this color. You know, I think when I have done fall mixing sets in the past, I've really kind of gravitated towards putting brown in there. And you really don't need it, especially when you're going over natural brass. These really dynamic colors are just such a perfect combination.
Okay, we have all that kind of starting to go. Now I'm just gonna block this in. We can always go back in and add some colors, but I like where this is at and I think it's easier to fine tune. So I'm just gonna go in with my heat tool on the low setting from a good distance to get this more locked in.
Now will that dry your colors that are next to it? I would almost maybe move it off screen a little bit to do that.
Yeah.
So that you don't make more work for yourself in the long run.
That's probably a good idea. So I'm just going in with the level 1.
Sorry, we're not. Oh yeah, there you go.
From a good distance so that it doesn't really change it. But it doesn't have to be completely dry even. I just kind of want to get it mostly sealed into the place that it's at for each of these colors. Now that's not completely dry, but it has, oh, that's a little messy. Let me clean that up before it gets on our table. forever. Sorry guys, give me 2 seconds to clean this up.
Right. You can move your camera back over
Yep.
too.
Now that is mostly sealed into where I want it, and at this point I can just go in and add little bits of color where I want it. Clean that off.
I'm just watching you mesmerized. You're like, why are you being so quiet?
I probably gave her the side eye. I think I did. like peripheral side eye.
It's like, what are you doing over there? Why are you being so quiet? I noticed the look. I wasn't even looking at her, guys, and I could tell that I got the look. How do moms do that, right?
It's the energy that I put
yes,
towards you.
Right, you can feel it.
Okay. Now we can just set this off to dry. We're going to go back in with our other pieces. We're going to follow the same rule, but we're just going to dab it directly in onto our pieces with a brush.
Yeah, so we have noticed that that metallics do tend to be a little bit more sensitive to the elements. So for sure, take more care to keep your paint stock out of like direct sunlight and out of like don't store it next to your heater or in a space that isn't temperature controlled, that type of thing. Sherry Dador says, hi Ainsley and Jean, hi jewelry soulmates. I have been here but was too busy to comment. Welcome, Sherry.
I'm so glad to have you.
I did, Peggy. You are right.
Make sure you guys can see all of this. Okay. And we will go back in on this other piece in a little bit with the peach, so don't think that we are done with that yet.
So if you're not noticing here, this is the same piece just flipped front and back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can see the reverse side. We very lightly flattened these out so that they're easier to paint, but we didn't hammer them heavily.
No, very gently. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna start with the top of this side here, and then the bottom of this side here. Yeah. And we're gonna go in with our royal purple. I'm starting in on the bottom.
And what brush are you using if you didn't say yet?
This is the number 1 detail brush. And we will mix these colors at a point, so even if it looks like, oh, that color wasn't there, we do need it to be a little higher than we think to get it to blend.
So now remember, everything that you buy from vintage.com, which is our main website, will earn you points.
Yep.
And if you are a Backstage Pass member, you're going to earn double that amount. So when you stack up your rewards, which I've talked about this in Backstage Pass a little bit before, when we did our designer discussion on how to make the most of your Backstage Pass. What's cool about vintage.com is you can stack your rewards. So you can use them on, you can earn them on sale things, you can earn them on bundles, you can use them on bundles. Just a really great way to stack up your savings.
We're going in with our crimson red.
So, Peggy, what's a jacket hammer? I'm interested in that. I just used our 4-ounce hammer and just did a really light tap to preserve the details, but I'm not sure what a jacket hammer is. You'll have to describe it to me in the comments.
I'm dry wiping this.
So this is kind of a fun concept that Ainsley's doing here. They will, as you watch, you're going to see the colors change from one set to the next. So you might be wondering, why isn't she doing all four? It's because it's going to continue as she goes along. The gradation will continue up into the next piece.
This is just our metallic here.
Oh, jackhammer.
That's kind of funny.
A jackhammer, well, yes, to hammer them lightly.
But I'm just going in and I'm blending.
Yes, Peggy, I know what a jackhammer is. I just wasn't sure what a jacket hammer it was. Don't you love the autocorrect that you get sometimes on there?
Oh yeah, it's so fun.
And sometimes it's like, or it won't know. Like a
word that I'm trying to spell.
Right, like two words that are next to each other. You know, it doesn't like take the context clues, and it's like one letter is off and it won't guess what it is, even though it's like so obvious. It's just funny.
Yeah, that happens to me sometimes too. Okay. Then we're gonna go in with a little bit of this bright orange here.
I think I would have a very hard time using a jackhammer because my wrists and joints and all my hand joints are very weak. So I could have never been a gymnast because
or maybe
all my
you
joints.
should have been a gymnast so that you strengthen your
Yeah, I
joints.
mean, this is true, but I didn't have that kind of coordination. I didn't have the backwards coordinate. I had the backwards fear. I think one time Wendy tried to teach me how to do a back handspring for like, I don't know, like 6 hours straight, and I just couldn't get over like trying to go backwards.
Oh, I don't even like going backwards either, and you know that. We're going back in just on the tips here with this fuchsia. Then we're going to go over with that bright orange here. Dry wiping in between, trying to get as much of this as possible off here because, like I said, this bright orange isn't as strong.
Corian, I can tell you a funny story about your dad. He had what was called, if you're still watching on there, is vintage. What's called global instability is what the doctor described it as, and so his shoulder muscles were weak, and so he's a quarterback, and so they were concerned about injury. So he had certain kind of PT exercises that he needed to do, and it just happened to be the same motion that was required to drag seaweed out of the pond. So my dad was like, here you go, here's your PT, go remove all the seaweed from the pond, and then you won't have to do PT exercises. I'm not sure how legit that was, but I know he did go to the doctor and was diagnosed with that.
Okay, we're going now in with our ochre yellow. I like to just add the color first before I blend it out completely. So you will notice that I am blending afterwards for the most part. And then to our gold.
I just love the way these work into each other. For
We're
sure.
gonna
Then.
really drag in more of that pink as we go through this piece here in a second. So I'm gonna pull this yellow up into my gold here. And then I'm gonna go in and add more of that fuchsia in a second. And we're gonna start dragging more of this into here.
So this is almost kind of like underpainting with the colors. It seems like by doing that, all that yellow.
Yeah. Because we do need it to be a little more blended.
I would not have guessed that.
It's so quiet right now.
I can read some comments.
Yes, that would be great.
Corey in his vintage says, of course Grandpa would do it. Wahahaha. Doug says, that PT turned into PTSD.
That is so funny.
I think Steve got the most chores out of all of the kids because there were only 2 of us left and I was pretty scrawny. So I wasn't going to be good for chopping wood. I was good for things like raking up wood chips. And like my dad would, when it was just me, I was the only one left, he would get really frustrated with me because like that wheelbarrow was heavy, like to bring in, because we heated our, it wasn't necessarily a super small house. It was pretty decent size for being heat with a wood burning furnace, and it went through a decent amount of wood. And so like I'm the only one left at home, and yet the chores still need to get done. So, and I was not like, I had like even less upper body strength than I've got right now, if that's like possible.
It's because you had to have a little bit of barely any mom strength come in.
Right? Yes. No, I did get mom strength from carrying your older brother around.
Yeah, so
like
that's
I
why.
could hit the baseball a lot further after having him because he was heavy. So before that, yeah, I was super weak, and he would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe trying to get the wheelbarrow in.
Just going back in and adding a little bit more of that gold.
Oh, another funny thing. I don't know if you heard this the other day, but Hunter was joking because we went over to help him move all of his stuff. And he was like, hey, do you want to go split an ice cream cone with me? Because that was something that
Grandpa would
my
do.
dad was notorious for doing with the grandkids, is they would come over and help him do chores. And then he'd be like, let's go to Happy Joe's and we'll buy an ice cream and then get an extra dish and then like cut it in half. And
Half
you can have
between
half.
the little kids.
Right, yes.
He would
Yeah.
get his own cone, and then the rest of us would get like half
Split.
and half.
Or if it was just you and...
It'd be me and Hunter, so
Yeah.
we would split the cone.
Yeah, but I think with the other kids, it might have been just like he had half and they had half. But yeah, there's a lot of like funny, like splitting desserts kind of stories with the grandkids, which is really funny. Like one time he took Hunter with him, and they got a frozen pie at like Burger King. You know how they have those like you can buy the pie slices and they're like an ice cream pie. And after they were done splitting the dessert, there was a tine of the fork missing. And so they were trying to figure out which one of them ingested it.
I remember that story.
Oh.
That's pretty funny. Okay, I'm just going to go through and lightly absorb a little bit of this. Not a crazy amount. I accidentally got some of my paints there on the bottom.
So pretty. I just am in love with these earrings. of course, you know, you guys know I like to design with this piece. I've done a
Go
master
in and
class
add
with them.
just a little bit more of this fuchsia here.
I just feel like this color combo is over the top. So I had a childhood friend reach out to me. I don't know, it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and she was just telling me about all of the memories that she had with me growing up, because we would spend quite a bit of time together and she would hang out with our family. And she said that she always thought it was the funniest thing, and she always appreciated that my dad was always like, no ice with the soda. Because he's like, I'm not paying for ice, right? I'm not paying for water. And so she's like, I still do that.
I do that.
I know you do that.
I do that.
And I don't because I like to moderate or regulate my soda intake. So I'm like, well, I want it to be a certain temperature. So that's my spoiled thing to do now.
Remember, these are not done yet. They are mostly done, but not quite done, because we do need to add our peach in.
Ooh, is that like the next step for all of them, as you dry them and then do that last?
Do that last, yes. So I think that this is almost dry. We're gonna hit it one more time because it does, like, that little pool in the center does look like it needs to be.
And again, you know, so when Ainsley was teaching her Jesse James Speed summer camp class, a lot of people are like, oh, do you need a heat tool? No, if you're patient, you don't need it. But if you do want this heat tool, it is also on our affiliate
And we just have
links.
to show you this immediately. We're not gonna make you wait another,
Yes.
I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes for this thick pool that was in here to dry.
Of course.
If you have a thin coat, it would be dry right now. Like, everything else would be dry. Everything is mostly dry. It's just the pool in the center. And I kind of just look for the glare to look a little more matte for me to know that it's dry. So I kind of look from the side. So if you notice I'm moving my head like that, it's because I'm trying to look at the right angle to tell that it's dry or not. And don't handle this with your fingers. It's very hot. Use gloves or use your fingernails. I do that if it's like super hot, but it will burn your fingers. Unless you have heat hands, like mom hands. This is super close to being dry. I think this is like just barely wet here still.
Maybe just wick up that very tiniest pool
Yeah,
in the
I
center.
might do that.
Because I don't think it's going to really affect the color to absorb some of that.
Yeah, no, I got it actually.
Beautiful.
We're gonna move this to the side. We're gonna quickly dry these other ones. They're mostly there. This piece here just has a little bit of pooling, but these ones look like they're basically dry. Actually, I'm noticing this color kind of ran away from me on this piece. It kind of like moved into our, into the grooves there. So I do just want to add a little bit back in. Make sure this gradient is proper. So I'm just going to go back in really quickly like that. So just with that fuchsia and the bright orange. To make sure that this is exactly how I want it to look.
Thank you, Sherry. She said, cute idea for painting these leaves. Ainsley, you hit this out of the park.
Thank you.
So something that I did with the links when you go to the Amazon storefront is we're starting to make different lists. So I have one for tools, one for beads, and one for studio supplies that we like to use. So we're going to continue to populate those with fun stuff.
I'm just going back in, sealing this back down, then we're going to add our peach and we will be done. Woohoo.
And then I'm just going to do those pink leaves so they can get that Venetian glass look.
That's dry. It's just a little piece that's a little more sus. Okay. So much faster when it's not a big, large pool to dry. All right, and so we're going to go back in. And I'm going to use the iridescent peach. I'm going to make sure those ones are cooled down. So I'm moving those ones off screen for the moment and pulling my leaf back on. Because he is now cooled off from my heat gun. And then I'm going to go in with the peach. Let me find a thicker brush. And I'm just going to paint it right directly on there. I ruined my pool of peach a little bit because of that heat tool, so I'm going to add back some back in on my mat.
Yeah, so you could probably put that out later, right? If it's your last step.
I'm adding more generous in the center, and I'm leaving it away from the tip where there's gold. I'm going to dry brush this off, and then I'm going to blend it slightly down here. Blend it into here, and then blend it up to here. Just kind of like tapping, tapping, tapping. Like so. And then smoothing this out a little bit, and then we're done. So I did not add it to the entire piece, I didn't want to lose that iridescent gold. I'm going to move that off to dry. And we can go back in over here. And we're going to do the same kind of thing where we're concentrating more where this fuchsia to bright orange to ochre yellow is.
Corian is signing off, but we're just a reminder, this Wednesday is the warehouse sale. The girls are swapping to give the Idaho girls more time to prepare after they've been gone this last week.
Tapping that in, and we're just going to do the littlest tiniest bit here. You will notice that the color does change ever so slightly, and you're going to get more of that warmer corally color.
It really just transforms it. Magic.
And we're almost done. Okay. Then we are done with that. So yeah, you do notice it does actually make a big difference to add that peach.
Yes, it does.
You wouldn't expect it, but it does. So.
Okay, shall we swap for a second?
Yep.
You can take a breather for a minute. Hey guys. So let me see if I can get an empty spot kind of on here. There we go. Gosh, that's so pretty. Look, I'm just going to pick this up so you can see. Amazing. All right. What are we doing? I'm doing these leaves. So on the affiliate links, I linked you can get a whole order of pink, a whole order of purple, or there's this one mix that has all the colors in it. So it has both of these in it. But I'm just going to show you really quick. This is so easy. And we're just taking these simple acrylic leaves and making them look like Venetian glass. So if I can get a good... Doesn't seem to want to focus on these really well. There we go.
Yeah, you just might need to push it up a bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking it needs to go up.
That's usually what
bit.
the case is it needs to be further away. If it's
There
not
we go.
focusing.
How's that? So, I mean, the photos I think turned out really gorgeous of the projects, but it couldn't quite capture just how dynamic these are.
Yeah, it never quite captures. It's always way
Yeah.
more glowy in person.
So you can see how just a really simple beading material here can be completely transformed with the one-step antique glaze. So we're going to do that, and it's going to be so easy. I will zoom in here, and we're not even going to use all of our colors. And I've got to remember what I used. I think just 3 colors. We had metallic gold. This is going to be so easy. You guys are going to freak out because it's just so easy. So we just pour it on. And then I did use the royal purple.
Wow.
Somebody didn't screw the cap back on, guys.
That's because I was using each of them to pour in.
We had like a real time. I don't know. Did you see it?
Can they
Go
see
across
this?
the
Can they see this?
screen.
Is this in there? Is it on camera?
No, that's okay though.
No, I want to show them what
Fell
happened.
in the cup.
Can they see the cup now?
Yes. Yeah.
I am not going to touch that. I'm going to use this to push it out. No!
So this is what happens when you don't put your cap.
Well, it doesn't happen if you know that, but she didn't know because I did it. I really
Okay,
don't want
let
to
me get
stick
back
my
into
finger.
this. Okay, so you're going to put your royal purple in here and then just a dot. Okay, I'm putting the cap back on so I can shake it up. Don't want to do that with red. Okay, and then just a dot of this in here because you don't need as much. Then we're going to take a little one of our paper towel squares, which these are also linked on supplies.
We cut those ourselves, so don't
Yep.
think they're going to come straight
Yeah, they
like that.
won't come cut. And then I must have used pink in here too, because I'm seeing, well, no, I think it's the blend. Actually, this is about right. Okay, here we go. They're just turning out a little bit more purpley today, a little bit more red and purple. But I think that's because maybe I wicked up a little bit more last time. We'll do that. Keep going. And you're gonna see how the colors just kind of settle into the grooves that are in the acrylic. Ah! Okay, don't blow your beads away. If you go straight down versus going to the side, that's the better way.
So if you hold it from a distance as well.
Yeah, for sure. So straight down, guys. And then it won't blow them away. Kind of. It's still did.
Maybe wipe up your pool and it'll
For
be
sure.
a little bit better because then it won't ruin what you did.
Okay, well, we're just going to set these to the side so you can see I'm going to set them with all the other pretties. So you can see what those look like. One of these, if it flips over in that, like this flipped over in the pool and it got really, I'm going to move this. Okay. This one flipped over and it got a lot of red in it. So before that dries on there, I'm just going to absorb that extra bit up. But that's it. Super simpleness. Then you turn out with these gorgeous pieces. So I think what we'll do now is show the pieces on, right? If you want to swap over
well,
to the...
I need to explain the other leaf.
Oh, yes. Yeah. A windy fall day, yes, Peggy. It's a lot different.
You left this really beautiful for me.
Yes, sorry about that. That's why I was saying that we should switch to that setup instead of that setup.
Because you didn't want to clean it.
No, just because I wanted to be able to move along quicker.
Well, we still have a lot of time. We still have...
Here we go. I'm just going to drag this out of the way and give you this back as a background. Here, let go.
You're going to get it on the board there.
I'll be
and on
good.
the table, you just got it on the table.
There you go. It's okay. It's all right. It's all good. I'll clean it up. Don't worry about that. Don't hyper focus.
Who are you talking to?
You're like, is that possible, guys? Is it possible?
It's not possible.
All right. Your
Actually,
in question
one
is
of the
over here.
questions when I went to get my testing done was like, do you hyperfixate on something for a long period of time? And you know, when I got this, like I did all these tests, and one of the tests is you put these blocks into a specific shape. They're one side's red, one side's white, and one side's half white, half red. And one of them, I couldn't figure it out within the amount of allotted time that they gave me. And I have not been able to stop thinking about it. I literally think about it every single day, multiple times a day. And I am so bothered by it. And I think I'm going to tell him that.
So I think I told you guys this story before. But one time we had this block set of... like they're square puzzle sets that are wood, and I think it was disassembled, and you had to figure out what it was supposed to look like, and you spent like 2 hours, didn't use the internet, and stubbornly just figured it out.
Yes, yeah, I am very stubborn like that.
All right,
and yeah, so now I'm very bothered by that. I like, it's.
Maggie says that the messy area is just a reward for not putting the cap on tight.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't know she was going to go back and shake it up again. If she would have observed me, she would have known.
Hey, I got too many things to concentrate on.
Okay.
Speaking of which.
I'm going to explain this really quickly, what I did here. Obviously, part of it's covered, but essentially, instead of doing the entire color scheme, we're going to apply exactly what we did before, but we're starting with our bright orange instead, going down to our ochre yellow, and finishing off with our metallic gold. After this point, you're going to add... After it's dry, you're going to add the iridescent peach over the top part, leave it off of the bottom, let that dry, and then we're going to go back in with a little bit extra metallic gold, and we're going to drive it, blend it in, and then we're going to, what is that word? Okay, drag it up the center.
You guys, it's struggle bus today for us.
Drag it right up the center, leave it in the center just as like a little bit of extra like fleck there. If you leave it plain, it'll be very beautiful. Obviously, you can't even tell right now, but if you are to if you want it to come out like this and leave it with that little special thing, then yeah. But yeah, otherwise, that is all you have to do for that, and that is, yeah, the explanation there.
Okie dokie.
We're going to try these on, but let me de-try on all the stuff that I'm already currently wearing.
Remove.
Also, Maggie made this piece, right? And she did it for me, but when she did it, she put it on the chain on the backwards way. So every single time I know I have to do the opposite hand.
You could just switch the clasp.
I could, but I don't remember to do it when I have tools present. Actually, well, you know what I'm going to do right now is make my mom do it.
Okay, I will fix
Otherwise,
it for you.
I won't remember to do it.
All right.
We're going to go back full screen. I'm going to move this out of the way because we don't actually need it at the moment. And I will stand up here in a second just so you guys get optimal view. I'm going to just start with this first necklace, and then I will show you it layered with the other. Let me actually take this necklace off as well. Where did you go? Clasp. Not this one.
And if you're looking to create the choker with all of these bead leaf drops, I just use JR45s through the top hole of the leaf.
And this time, I'm not going to take my jewelry off and put it back on so we can take pictures right away and I don't have to apply everything. Guys, I do it so many times out of habit, and then yeah, it's horrible. I have to put them all back on again.
The choker is over there, by the way.
Yes, I see that. And I really need to wash my earrings.
Happens to the best of us.
Okay.
This one actually doesn't flip too much, so that's nice.
Okay. Have that on. Like I said earlier, I did make these to layer. So we're going to put both earrings on. Let me put my other ones on first because it's going to be easier to find the hole for these first ones.
Actually, the ring I made you during the master class goes really well with all these colors.
It does. All right.
Peggy says, Ains, buy yourself some blocks, paint them red and white, then you can figure it out.
But I don't have the pattern at hand. I might just ask him if I can take a picture of them so that I can do it. Otherwise, this is going to really bother me for a very long time. Okay, clasp.
How about I give you a little hand with that? Just for speed.
Yeah. It's like the perfect size, which is exactly why it's hard to do.
Mm-hmm. If you make them a little bit oversized,
yeah, it's better.
They're easier to put on. But if you like it super tight, that's also a benefit, right?
I think we put it on upside down, though.
Oh, that's okay. It looks pretty both ways. Where's the birdie bracelet?
Mom, you can't have it this way.
You want me to
yeah, you have to flip it around.
Right, you lined it up.
Yeah, that's my own. It's my fault. I did that. I did it wrong, and that's okay. Wait. I will get it so that it's proper.
Okay.
Okay, yes, it's the right direction now.
Do you guys have compassion on me?
Guys, I'm sorry. I need to show it properly, otherwise it's wrong.
This is actually harder for me to do this way. You know why? It's because I'm having to open the lobster clasp with my left hand, which I'm not used to doing. There we go. Okay, this one is going to be easier. I'm going to put it on your other hand. And
Yoink.
it is a slide clasp, so you just stick it in, and then this fits anybody. Get those evened out, and then just, there we go. So yeah, this bracelet will look slightly different when you execute it, but we'll show you really quick just what that piece looks like.
Do you want to
It's
zoom
gonna
in
look
for them?
almost the same, yeah. Lovely. Love it.
And then I'm actually going to show it like this because this is how it will.
So,
Zoom in a little more. Yeah. And this is the reason I had her flip it is because these should dangle this direction, not the other way.
Well, I mean, yes.
Earrings?
Yeah, and if you want, you can also paint the backs. I'll do that a lot. So that no matter the way they flip, you get that dynamic color.
And then the necklace. You can zoom in a little bit more for that.
So pretty. So I'm putting 2 feet of this chain. Ainsley's wearing it as a choker, this heavy, but you'll be able to do it up to 24 inches. So, yeah, make it any length you want.
Those are
For
the
the
pieces
leaf
for the
choker.
day. I don't think there's anything
Peggy
else.
says, I absolutely do feel for you. She's like my daughter who would have fits if the toe seam of a sock didn't end up in the right spot. That was my son Dallin.
Yes.
He would, yes, that when he was a toddler. And then he just, when he put on his own socks, he just learned how to do it perfectly.
Guys, I just
Never
remembered,
complained again.
remembered a story. So when we were kids, we used to go jump on a trampoline and we would take our shoes off. We'd be wearing shoes when we went outside, and then you obviously have to take your shoes off, and then you go back inside and you forget your shoes at the trampoline. I left them out overnight, and yeah, sometimes bugs like to decide to crawl into there, and so I become really paranoid every single time I had to put shoes on if they're in the trampoline. And my mom, we were in the car, we needed to go inside, and I hadn't put my shoes on yet because I was terrified there was going to be something in there. And she was like, just put your shoes on! Just put them on right now! There was a spider in them! There was a spider. I was not being... There was a spider in there. Even when the spider came out, I did not
Where
trust
were we
it.
going? School or something?
No, we were somewhere else. We were like at Ace Hardware.
Oh.
In the parking lot.
Oh, and you didn't want to put them on because you had grabbed them from by the trampoline.
Yes,
Oh,
and there
man.
was a spider in them. I swore I'd seen something move in there. And yeah.
Why do they do that? Like, you know what the worst thing is? What I would always find, and it would be stuck to the end of my sock because I wouldn't figure it out until later, but it would be like either a cricket
No.
or a beetle.
No.
Yes.
But yeah, I had
the
spiders
worst.
in my shoes multiple times. I hated that. That was horrible. It was a horrible experience. Do we need you want to explain this?
Okay, yes. Yeah, I can do that if you want to flip that over. You can do that before we close out for the day and finish. Okay, so can I have the bracelet? You're going to get 2 of these blanks in your selection. And so I originally used these songbirds, not realizing that these are completely sold out. So this is basically, it's the same size, and actually this is a lot easier to work with because I did both of them. It's just the head is a little bit different. So this is actually going to be a lot easier to work with. All I've done here is you're going to, and I'll finish this out so that you guys have a representation of what it should look like, but you're just going to cut off the loop on the end, add holes to the tips of the wings, the head, and the tail, and then you will connect. So
And bend it to your wrist size.
Yep, and then, yes, I did curve it so that when it lays over my wrist, then it lays properly. So all I did was a wrap loop on each side using our 20 gauge solid brass
and
wire.
they thread that through, right?
Yeah, so that's threaded through, no jump rings using that.
So just
And
remember
then-
what I did with threading it through the chain there, and do the same process with your hole on your piece.
And then I just did 3 links of this chain, which is, we've used this several times, this curved chain. Could you tell me what number that is in case they want?
CH0010.
So that's CH0010 is this curved chain. And so I did that to stabilize it so that when your bracelet, it's not gonna come apart and sit wonky. So that's really stable. And then we just did our CH10 here with the slide clasp. This clasp actually does come with the set, these 2 charms and a couple of jump rings. And that's it. So you can swap over to full screen again.
Yep, I want to show them my jacket.
Oh yes, that's a good idea.
Anybody else really love the smell of leather? Like, I put this on and I just...
It's real leather, huh?
It's real leather, yes. I basically only buy real leather jackets because, yeah. I found an amazing deal. I paid I want to say maybe around $70, and if anybody knows how expensive leather jackets are,
Wow, that's a
usually
great deal.
Around $400. My other leather jacket, I think I paid like $140 instead of but I found this amazing leather jacket. I have to break it in still. It's a little, you know how it is if you have a leather jacket, but they smell so good, and they just, I know a lot of people are like, oh, leather, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I love leather. It is much more biodegradable than fox
And it's
leather.
sustainable.
Very sustainable and much better for the environment. So, but I just want to show this off because I'm really excited about
It's
it.
a really
And
good-
it's fall.
It's a good color for you
It's
too.
fall.
I love it.
It's fall, so I'm excited.
Yes.
And it's this smell, because I wear leather so much in fall, just is so fall nostalgic for me. I'm so excited about this.
So, Peggy was asking about the search function on vintage.com. If you put in an item number on there and it says that it's not found, just ignore it and hit enter. I'm not sure why it says that. I think maybe it's looking in the title for that number, but it will bring back a result if you just hit enter. So if it says item not found, when you put in, let's say CH0010, just hit enter after that and it will still bring you up the search results. If it still is not found, then that means it's probably not on the website. It might be on one of the other websites. You might have to look on warehouse site if that's the case.
Yes.
But yes, Sherry says, fits you perfectly. It was.
Yay.
I'm sitting a really good find. So yeah, I will be, any other web questions like that, I will be looking into this week. So if you ever have any issues like that, please let me know. But we're going to sign off. So
Thank you everybody for coming. We will see you next Monday. But yeah, definitely. Also, post whatever you do with these colors to DIY with Vintage. I want to see what you guys do. I hope you experimented with me during the live. That would be awesome. So post pictures there.
I'm going to definitely finish the rest of these pieces out for jewelry for myself.
Bye, guys.